Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. This is Afefe with Touch by Tarot, checking in with you for this new moon in Gemini. Recording this on Monday, the 30th, which is the day of the new moon. And I am traveling, you guys, so I don't have my usual setup, but I didn't want to let this day go by without checking in with you. For those of you who have been with me for a while, always good to see you again. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe and come back again, all right? So my question, I'm doing an abbreviated reading, you all, because as I said, I'm traveling. I don't have my usual setup. So what I did was I went to Spirit and Meditation and said, what are 3 things that we need to know about this new moon in Gemini? All right, ready? Let's go. The main card that I got at the bottom of the deck, you all, was the 7 of Wands. And on this particular deck, it gives us these little keywords, and it says confidence and competition. Now, when we think about Gemini in general, it is a mutable sign. It is an air sign ruled by Mercury, which is still in retrograde, right? So for many of us, it's this new moon. While we think about new moons as a time when we typically set new intentions, and that certainly applies here, but it is also about reviewing the ways that if your confidence has taken a hit, you know, if you've really had to strengthen yourself, if you've been in some combative situations recently, this new moon is saying set those intentions to regain and restore your confidence and your strength and your conviction in what it is that you've been trying to achieve. That could be something as, as common as your own personal well-being, your health, your physical body, your physical strength. It could be something within the workplace where you've had some challenges and, in dealing with other people, some people could be oppositional. And so this is about, look how she's got her eyes set on that target, which is very much in line with this new moon. We're saying, set those intentions, but understanding that those intentions are being influenced very much by what has happened in the recent past. And that, again, that goes very well with this Mercury in retrograde. Doesn't come out until June 3rd. So those things that have happened in the past, it's not just dreaming up, okay, here I am, and here's something else that I want to go after or start. It's understanding and putting it in the context of what you have had to overcome and what you may still have to overcome in order to do that, okay? So that's our overwhelming card, or our backdrop is that 7 of Wands. Now, number 1 thing of the 3 that Spirit came forward today and said, you need to know about this new moon. We have 2 major arcana that came together. They call it in this deck the Oracle, but it is also the Priestess. And so this is, Spirit is saying you need to know your own inner resources. You need to be very aware that while you may not have everything figured out, you have to, goes back to that 7 of Wands and having that confidence, because you have to understand that you have the wherewithal. You have instinctively in your DNA, in your spiritual DNA, you have the knowledge of what it is that is in your best interest. And if you are being challenged by something outside of you or someone outside of you, a situation, even a health issue that you're being challenged by, you have the wherewithal to reach some conclusions and solutions yourself, some understanding that is going to come forward to you in this new moon. During this new moon season, it comes with second major arcana I just told you about, strength. In this particular deck, they use the old system where strength is designated as the number 11 versus justice. But the point here is, combined with that 7 of Wands that we saw as our sort of archetype for this reading, and that oracle, the high priestess, knowing something, using your intuition, developing your intuition to overcome any challenges as you set those intentions to go forward. Here we have strength. This is about tapping into your power. Remembering, Spirit wants you to remember during this new moon, it is offering you a glimpse into the power that you may have forgotten that you possess, or that you may have been so challenged by that it feels like it's been a little depleted lately. But lo and behold, this new moon is that reminder. Set your intentions to reclaim it. Number 2, whatever's been, really, really stressing you out, or even if it's just not you personally, but that you've been exposed to a lot of this energy. We all have. This brings to mind, the horrible Uvalde situation, Buffalo, on and on and on, right? Thinking again about Mercury in retrograde, and that a lot of what we're processing during this time is putting the past into perspective so that we can move forward. So we have been exposed, whether this is your own personal situation or whether it's just collectively, globally, what we've been exposed to, that Ten of Swords energy of just, we've had it. But I love this depiction in this deck, because notice how after we get across all of those swords, there's something new there at the end, and it's facing that sky. And I think this is very much, especially Gemini, new moon, air sign, swords, air, that it's saying, as we cross over all of those things that have happened, there is something new that occurs to us. There are new ideas. There is a new intention, a new focus, a new resolve that we will have. Okay? Now, that comes with, what is that new resolve about? Ace of Pentacles. Okay? So that new resolve is going to entail setting your intentions about to welcome what will get you going in a direction of stability, what will get you going in a mindset of prosperity. Ace is slow moving. I shouldn't say ace, pentacles rather, is slow moving. Aces are about that potential for something. Hasn't happened yet. You can't see it, touch it, taste it, smell it yet, but the potential for it is there. And when we have pentacles, again, it tends to be a slower moving thing. It tends to take planting those seeds in the earth, as it were, right? And thinking about what it is that needs to be done step by step. This is very methodical here. It is methodical. How do you step by step get over each one of those swords so that you can get to that one at the end and begin to regroup and think about setting those intentions? Because you can't pretend that what is happening around you simply isn't happening. It's not about fantasy land. This is about very deliberate, very, very deliberate and honest assessment of what is going on, so that you can say, okay, now that I understand this, going back to that high priestess, now that this has been revealed to me, now that I know more about my own inner resources and how I can approach things, now I've crossed those swords. I'm ready to turn the corner. I'm ready to turn the page. I've got some new ideas, and those ideas are going to lead me here. They're going to lead me to feeling more stable, more secure, having a better sense of my own foundation, very grounding energy. If you need to get out in nature during this new moon, if you need to put your feet down in some grass, some sand, whatever it is, get into some woods, take a walk outside, but get around nature. Get grounded, all right? And the third thing that Spirit wants you to know about this new moon in Gemini is you have to make a choice. You got to make a decision. And this feels very much like, pick a team. There's no right or wrong, but being silenced, this is a very powerful depiction here, because typically when we see a Two of Swords, someone is holding, a figure is holding two swords. But here, these two swords, as it were, are these bandages crossing her mouth. So the idea is, what is it? Remember, we're in Gemini, all about expression, all about lightening up. If those swords, that Ten of Swords energy has you feeling really heavy, this is about, and so it's kind of got you in a space of I'm not quite sure how to express what I want. I don't know anymore. I don't know if I can believe it, if I can trust it. And so you're feeling indecisive. Spirit is saying, pick a team. It's time to go ahead and make that choice and make that decision and eliminate that, because final card is the Eight of Wands. It is time to move. It is time to understand that there is movement around you, but you can't wait for it to come to you. You have to meet it. You have to be the one to move. And I think, again, that's going back to that priestess and that high priestess and that strength card. This is about, as you approach this new moon as an opportunity to discover more about yourself, as not as opposed to, but in addition to having to react and adapt to what is going on around you. This is sort of, like the buck stops with you kind of energy here. That's that Eight of Wands. Things are ready to move, but they will only move once you pick a team, make a choice, take a stance. All right? And finally, going back to that, you take that stance because you know what your target is. You know what it is that you're aiming for, and you know what it is that you deserve. You know what it is that is no longer applies, and you know what adjustments that you need to make. You trust your gut on that, all right? I hope it resonates. Let me know your thoughts. Always come back, see me again. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.